Hello, everyone. Dr. Michelini here to walk you through a few ways to cite Shakespeare. Let's get started. So the two ways that you will most need to know how to cite Shakespeare in this course are from a PDF, like the No Fear PDFs that I provided, or from a website if you prefer to read it from a website on your own, okay? Now here is the way to cite it in the Works Cited page, all right? At the end of your piece or document or whatever you're working on, you're gonna do his last name, comma, first name, title of the play, of whatever we're reading, all right? Here I have the No Fear Shakespeare Macbeth as an example here, and it's by SparkNotes, but SparkNotes is not the author. This is the source of where I got this No Fear play, but it doesn't get to be the author over here. William Shakespeare is still the original author, okay? So that's how that looks, and then you were provided a PDF of it, so you just put the PDF right there. So you can go ahead and copy and paste this and plug it right in as you need it throughout the course. The other version that I want to show you, just in case you found a website where you were reading it, because it is freely available online. For example, the Folger Shakespeare Library has it. You would just do his first and last name, title of the play in italics, and the title of the website with the link to website. So you can see whether, it's a website or a PDF, the source of where you got it is the same, okay, in the same place here. His plays are always in italics, never in quotes, okay? So just something to keep in mind. Now, in-text citations are important if you are folding a quote into your own words, right? So the way that you do that is you might have an example quote, and then in parentheses, this should look familiar to you if you've done MLA before, you're gonna have the author's last name, but no page number, okay? Instead, what we have here is the act, followed by a period, then the scene number, followed by a period, and then the line numbers of the quote, followed by a period after that closing parentheses, okay? This information is all provided to you in the PDF or wherever you read it on the website. It's going to tell you what act you're in, what scene you're in, and what line numbers it is, because that is how we cite Shakespeare. So just don't forget, as you're going through this, no page numbers, okay? And Shakespeare is known for his very creative insults here, so I threw a few of them in there. Don't take offense, please. It's just a little bit of fun. Okay. The next thing that you need to know is if you are working with more than one play, like let's say you wanted to compare Hamlet with Othello, right? The way that you would distinguish them when you have quotes is by putting which play it is instead of his last name here in the parentheses. Now, this is only if you are talking about more than one play, okay? There are also abbreviations for all of his plays for this so that you don't have to type out the full title, because some of them, like The Taming of the Shrew, get really long and take up a lot of space. So those are all here for you to return to. In this course, you may not have to do this, but it's there for you just in case. Okay, in-text citations. When you have up to 3 lines of verse from one of his plays or poems, you are going to use a forward slash to denote a line break. I know that is different from regular prose, okay? It's almost like a poem. But wherever that line breaks in the text document, you're going to put a forward slash. You'll notice there are stanza breaks too sometimes, okay? So where like the speech is totally separated. If that's the case, if it's one person speaking and their speech is segmented out like that, you are going to use a double slash where there's a big break, all right? Okay. Secondary sources, as needed. You might have to cite some secondary sources on Othello. The most common are going to be from a website. You are going to follow kind of the same format, okay? So I have a screenshot here of a website that I was visiting. The article was written by Kiernan Ryan, so I would have Ryan, comma, Kiernan, title of the webpage in quotes, which would be Racism, Misogyny, and Motiveless Malignity in Othello. Title of the website in italics where I got this from, all right? That's different than the exact page. That's going to be the website, which I believe is Folger Shakespeare Library here. Then the link, all right? And then the date that I last accessed it. Okay, so this is what it would look like here, okay? Excuse me, British Library is the one here, okay. You can always come back to this as an example. I don't mind if you use citation machines or help with citing online somewhere. Certainly I, encourage you to, but double check it, make sure that it's accurate. even in this day and age where there's so much that, AI can do and things, it's amazing to me how many mistakes it makes with MLA citations. So make sure that you are double checking it, okay? There are many different resources that are reliable. There's the library, NCC Library MLA Citation Guide here. You can visit the Learning Center online or in person for help. This is a website that has the full MLA guide on it. And then here's a little video as well on how to do hanging indents in your works cited. If you need that, throw that in there, okay? That's about it for now. Have a great day.